Prom season in the air, and you might want to check with your teen's school before purchasing a dress.
The rules a little more strict than when some of us were in school. Get this, one Pennsylvania high school has a dress code in place right now. Nothing new because the rule has been in place for 23 years, but this time around, girls are required to submit photos of their dress before purchasing a ticket.
Now, we posted about this on our social media pages here this morning, including on Facebook.
Our producer Tyler Young in the newsroom with your comments. A little controversial.
Very controversial. Moms and dads, whip out the ruler when you go prom dress shopping because school administrators are not playing any games. We're getting a lot of comments on this morning. Let's start with Dawn. She says if parents taught their daughters how to dress appropriately, this wouldn't even be an issue. I've seen some of the dresses that girls wear nowadays, and it's too risque for their age. And locally, I saw that Cox Mill High School in Cabarrus County in Concord, they actually do have a prom dress code, no slits 4 inches above the knees. And it says, and I quote, dresses will be pinned up if the slit is bigger than 4 inches.
Now, the comment that you had, I have one very similar from Christine Kowalski. She says, I think it's a good thing. Some students have really done it to themselves by pushing the envelope with the dresses that are totally inappropriate. She says, I was shocked. I just attended a grand march last year for the first time in a long time. It was at a Christian high school. I couldn't believe what I saw.
Now, I've got one on the other side from Chris Goodson who says, how about we all stop power tripping and hyperventilating? Does it cover as much as a bathing suit? Then silently judge and move on. There's a difference between inappropriate and your definition of quote-unquote classy. We spend too much time telling young girls that they're slutty.
See, now this is not shocking to me. This is a Christian Catholic
school. Yeah.
So their rules are very different, and they've had this in place. So I was like, okay, when I read the headline, I'm like, it has to be a Christian school. I went to a Christian school. We weren't even allowed to have prom. Because we weren't allowed to dance. It was a dinner. So I think, you set the rules differently when you're in a private school.
What else are you hearing, Tyler?
It's not even just private schools. Some, public schools that actually don't have rules, if the teachers or whoever is chaperoning deems the dress, inappropriate, they will send girls home. I heard about a school last year in North Carolina where a girl wore pants to prom, and actually she was turned away. So I'm hearing from Melissa. Melissa says yet another ploy to control females, or because they can't control themselves. But I want to ask, I think this is so sexist. Are you pre-approving the guys' tuxedos before they walk in?
Well, there's nothing really sexual about it. There's no cutouts. There's no belly bearing.
There's nothing.
But I think it just ruins the entire experience. When you're prom dress shopping, I mean, you want to be, and I understand that some of the materials a little bit shorter than when we were going to school, but it just takes away because you're constantly in fear. Is this going to pass? Is this not going to pass?
Well, I will say it's weird that they set this rule in place in the spring when a lot of girls do their shopping.
Some of them have already bought the dresses at this school.
These these magazines come out in the fall, gearing towards prom gear, and you start shopping in the fall. And I know I always got my dress in maybe January, so I think May is definitely too late, but I don't know.
I got one more comment for you as we wrap this up from Lena. If they would quit trying to emulate the red carpet, this wouldn't be a problem. So many dresses these girls are wearing show everything. They look like call girls, not prom queens. Would you let your daughter dress like a streetwalker for school?
Well, school, Tyler, they also do, I know uniforms
during the
uniform checks.
The last thing I want to say is we have bigger issues. Like, for instance, CMS does a prom promise. They're wanting students to take a pledge to say that they're not going to be drinking and driving on the way to prom and drugs and things like that. So the dress code, not so much a bigger issue, but we want to hear from you at home. Keep the comments coming, Facebook, and find us on Twitter.
Yes, we like to keep that conversation going for sure.